It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we've got the latest chapter of a historic rivalry. It's the Hawks and the Niners, and it's all up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And as we look at this matchup, every time there's something different to focus on. So I'll just ask you, what do you see here in this one?
Well, Rembrandt, you've given me a pretty blank canvas to focus on, haven't you?
Yeah.
Where do you think I'm going to go with this?
Oh, secondary?
You know me well, right? In a game like this, it's always about the secondary. Can they handle the passing attack and make a few plays?
The kicker, Jake Moody's got it teed up, and we are underway now from Santa Clara. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. As we take a peek at Sam Darnold, the former USC Trojan and third pick in the 2018 draft.
And the thing with Sam Darnold is we know the skill set is there. May not be the most mobile or strongest arm quarterback in the league, but usually plays with really good poise and at his best, like a point guard in basketball, able to move around and distribute the rock.
First carry here for Kenneth Walker III. Now he's loose at the 40. Inside the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Kenneth Walker, 75 yards. And the Seahawks are on the board first here this afternoon. Wow, first play in the game, CD, 75 yards. These people, they haven't even filed in yet from the tailgate lots.
Everyone talks about starting out fast. Everyone talks about getting explosive type plays. That was absolutely a thunderbolt. And on the defensive side, you spent all week scheming, all week preparing, and it seems like it goes right out the window.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now a 7-0 game. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. So here are the Niners now to get their first drive. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their third-year quarterback.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it, but otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
Purdy now to throw. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15.
Shotgun now with Purdy. He'll get this underneath to McCaffrey.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
That's caught. It's McCaffrey again.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A big play there on the catch and run, and it'll give him a fresh set of downs.
That's a nice job right there. Get the ball out to the perimeter, get it to your guy in space. And he's just going to take this, turn upfield, and turn it into a big play in 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Purdy looking to throw.
Touchdown 49ers. George Kittle from 4 yards out.
And the Niners respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Well, down in this part of the field, CD, they love to get him the football, and right there, a little pitch and catch for the score.
Yeah, and he's such a weapon when it's that close to the end zone, and they love being able to rely on him to make those kind of catches. Talk about trust, talk about confidence, and he produces.
Jake Moody now for the point after.
It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the 1st quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So the drive there took 6 plays.
And it all ends with a George Kittle touchdown.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls, or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
Off of play action, Darnold. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. 1st down, Seahawks.
2nd and short. That's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a 1st down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and wing in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's a second down and 6. Sticking with Walker on second down. And he's going to have this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Niners' 35.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A yard all they need, but it's third down.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. On fourth down, Darnold.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle.
Noah Fant, 35 yards. And the Seahawks' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
And what a weapon he is at the tight end spot, because when they throw him the football downfield, they count on him getting additional yardage almost every time. And that's exactly what he did there. Caught that, ran with it, all the way to the end zone.
Now Myers for the extra point. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. A drive that time of 6 plays.
And it's Noah Fant who caps things off with the touchdown.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Niners offense, led by their running back, headed out for the second possession. And he's been sensational in this opening quarter. You have to imagine we'll see much more of him as this game goes along.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. Open man is Jerron Jennings.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
That's really good play design right there, and it's one that comes down to the offensive line. It's a deep in route, but it's only going to work if that line gives you time in the pocket to wait for the route to develop. Mission accomplished there as they pick up the first down.
Back to throw, Purdy.
This pass to Jennings, and he makes the catch. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it's second down.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
Now Purdy. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on third.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. 3rd and 5. Here's Purdy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they're able to stop him short. On 3rd and 6, they'll only pick up 4.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter. As they've got it, looking at a 4th down and 2.
Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away.
This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
That 1st down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Here's Darnold.
As it complete to Jackson Smith-Njigba.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. 11 yards for number 11.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. A play fake, and it's Darnold.
Going right back to Smith-Njigba.
They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it'll be 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage, because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
To throw is Darnold.
Throwing the out route, and he connects with Fant.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play, because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Here now, 3rd and a yard.
Play action. It's Darnold.
That is caught.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Faking the give, Darnold. He'll buy some time right. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
This is 2nd and 8. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. Darnold. And that is incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed one conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Mykel Dixon.
Jacob Cowing deep to receive it.
No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20.
The 49ers offense and Christian McCaffrey ready to go once more. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. Defensively, they were in the 3-4. Solid run up the middle. What made it successful?
Well, what you have to do is control the nose guard, but sometimes you don't do it by blocking him. You do it by influencing him. Get him moving to one side or the other and hit him back on the opposite.
Throwing here, Purdy.
Over the middle, complete. That's Jennings. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 yards there for number 15.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
They run with McCaffrey off the option. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Back to the ground on 1st. It's McCaffrey. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. 14-7.
So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd down and a yard. Purdy.
Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, they've certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Got a man. That's Ayuk.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up first and goal.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up first and goal.
Purdy now to throw. That'll be caught by Ayuk. Touchdown 49ers. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the 49ers are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half.
After nearly 30 minutes of football, that touchdown puts us in a position where if they make the extra point, we're right back to even before we start the second half.
Now Moody for the PAT.
And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive.
And it was Brandon Ayuk capping it off with a touchdown reception.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Seahawks going to take over now late in this first half. And with 40 seconds to go, that's, you'd think, time enough to try to mount a drive should they decide to do so.
Here's Darnold. That'll be caught. It's Cup.
Missed.
It will not go down.
Still going.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle.
Cooper Kupp.
76 yards.
And the Seahawks will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
Well, that's a heck of a response to regain the lead after we had seen the touchdown to tie the game.
I would say what we just saw there was a great amount of poise, because typically when teams tie the game up, it's a little bit of a, how would you say, you kind of take a step back and have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped in a hurry, didn't they? They attacked back after they'd been tied.
And in a big way, that was a statement-long touchdown. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead is now 21-14. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And the Niners ready to go on offense for the final time of this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10.
Purdy looking to throw. He's going to drop this down to McCaffrey.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. Purdy. That's caught out right by Jennings. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk.
And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down.
Again, it's Purdy to throw it. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
And that right there, his first incompletion of the game, pretty remarkable.
So let's start talking about all-time records, because with that incompletion, maybe over a 2-game sequence, or maybe starts a new streak now, because Ryan Tannehill, over 2 games, hit 25 straight. Now, the incompletion, we're taking this record out of play. But Mark Brunell, when he's with Washington, 22 straight completions to start a game. This guy is on fire. Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
And they'll have time for 1 play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
It was a strong first half for the former Spartan, Kenneth Walker. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead. We saw a couple of high-octane offenses getting it done in the first half. Both teams had no problems moving the football. And you'd have to think, the team whose defense shows up in the second half is going to be the one who walks out of here with a victory.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Niners offense and Brock Purdy getting ready for this next possession. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw.
That's over the middle and caught by Pearsall. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Purdy will set up to throw it here.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Throw over the middle, pulled in here by Farrell.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 41-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he'll bring this one inside the 35.
49 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From the 34-yard line, here's second down and 3. Back to throw, Purdy.
That's caught by Jennings. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now Purdy.
And this will be incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Here's Purdy.
Touchdown! George Kittle. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the 49ers are an extra point away from evening this one up.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
The extra point try now for Moody.
He's got it, and we're all tied at 21. So that drive in total 8 plays.
And it all ends with a George Kittle touchdown.
So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Seahawks offense had Cooper Kupp making their way back out. And he was pretty much unguardable in that first half. You see the numbers there as they try to add to him here in this 3rd quarter.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Their halftime lead now evaporated. We're back to level following that touchdown a moment ago.
And that shouldn't change the mindset a whole lot from an offensive perspective because they already knew this was going to be a hard-fought game. Now they just need to go out, execute their game plan, and keep moving. Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Back to Walker on first down.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield.
108 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
Again, it's Walker.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Up the middle, here's Walker.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd and 2. Straight ahead, Walker.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Third quarter, all tied up. This is 2nd and 10. Option play, and they'll give to Walker.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Running left is Walker.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the third.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now 2nd and 5.
They'll give it up to the big man Walker. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on third down.
They'll try for the first with Walker.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. And you wonder, Charles, could that decision come back to haunt them later?
And it really could, because in this situation, you kick the field goal in a tight game like this, that's a good play.
Yeah.
But maybe what he's saying to himself is, I'm just not a big proponent of the old idea that any possession that ends in a kick, I'm happy with. He wanted to be really aggressive.
A little twist here in the third quarter. And he'll be taken down after a decent gain, and that will bring us to the end of this third quarter of play. Back now here in Santa Clara. All even as we get ready to start the fourth.
Second and 5.
Operating from the gun. Purdy.
He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey.
And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
On first down, he'll drop to throw.
Another grab here for the dynamic Christian McCaffrey.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be second in a couple.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on, you heave one deep and you catch him close to the spot.
22 yards there, a first down.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46.
Once more, Purdy looking to throw. That's complete to Pearsall.
So the completion good for just 3. And it's second down. A handoff, McCaffrey running right. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They'll bring a receiver in motion left.
Purdy from the gun on 3rd down. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt.
The Seahawks offense and Kenneth Walker set to take over once more. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the fourth quarter.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the fourth quarter.
And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done.
162 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Walker with another carry.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
Out of the gun, Walker with it. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, 1st round went to the offense, 2nd round the defense. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3.
On the give, it's Walker.
And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
But sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big 3rd down conversion.
From the gun, it's Walker.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3.
On the handoff, this is Walker. And this won't be enough to pick up the 1st. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On 3rd down, here's Walker.
And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. Now a run with Walker. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. And not much running room. Down to the 32.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
They'll come up now, 2nd and 9. And Walker once more.
The 49ers now going to use the 1st of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining.
Well, the faithful in full roar here in Santa Clara. This is 3rd down.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22.
Hand off here to Walker.
And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
This is Walker.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
All 3 timeouts still at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10 now.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Walker. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as a...
And he's in for the touchdown! And in the final seconds, forget overtime, they've just likely won this thing in regulation.
And that score, in this time frame, that's like a big reveal at the end of a great movie, isn't it? Out of nowhere, almost, it appears, they get it done. How about that score?
The finishes like this is why we love sports. This is why we love the game of football.
So glad that we got to be here to watch this one.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And they will take a 7-point lead. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. This is 1st and 10. Purdy to throw. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
Purdy with one final shot here.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say so long from Santa Clara.